G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. I've made normal marshmallows before and they're absolutely fantastic and they're exactly the ones you buy in the shops. But this one's different, it doesn't have all the sugar. So it's actually kind of a healthy version. So join me today as I make my version of a healthy marshmallow. Now with this recipe, I highly recommend that you use a stand mixer if you have one. It just makes life so much easier, but if you don't, you can still use a hand mixer. But make sure you have a comfortable chair because once you put in the hot mixture, you're going to be sitting there for about 10 minutes. So to start off with, into a mixing bowl, I'm going to place in half a cup of room temperature water, followed by 3 tablespoons of gelatin powder. So just sprinkle that just on top. And we're just going to let that sit there while we get started on the next step, and in that time it's just going to soften up. Next I have a pot on the stove and it's on a medium to high heat. So to that I'm going to pour in half a cup of water, 1 cup of maple syrup. So that's the sugar content that we're using, and don't forget it's a natural sugar. So while you should still have it in moderation, it is far better than using the refined sugar that you find in normal marshmallows. So the reason why I'm calling this a no sugar marshmallow is because you're not using actual sugar, and instead you're using a natural sweetener. And now to that I'm just going to add in some vanilla extract. So now we're going to let this come up to a boil on a medium to high heat. Now you don't need to do much, but one thing I highly recommend is a candy thermometer. They're very cheap. Just search online, you can find them just about anywhere. So I'm going to place that into the pot, and we want to bring it up to about 240 degrees Fahrenheit or 110 degrees Celsius, which will bring us up to the soft ball stage. So all up, that's going to take about 8 minutes. Now you'll be asking, what do I do if I don't have a candy thermometer? You can do it, but it's a lot harder. Basically, wait for about 8 minutes, let it boil away. Then you're going to get a small amount, place it into a bowl of cold water, and if it turns into a soft ball, that's exactly how you want it. But I highly recommend that you just buy a candy thermometer because you can use it time and time again, and they're dirt cheap. Now as you can see, the temperature is almost there, should be another minute or two. The main mistake everyone seems to make when they make this sort of stuff is that they bring it up to the temperature too fast. You need to bring it up slowly. So turn it up to the maximum temperature on the stove to make it boil and come up in temperature faster will just ruin it. You really need to do it nice and slowly. So take your time and just let it come up to the desired temperature. As I said, it should take about 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, give or take. Just try not to rush it. Okay, so I've just taken our syrup off the stove. So with the stand mixer, I'm going to place it on low. And we're just going to slowly, very slowly, pour in our syrup mixture. Just so it can combine with that gelatin powder that we softened up earlier. Now you don't want to do it too fast, otherwise chances are you're going to splash yourself, and this stuff is really hot. Okay, once it's all poured in, just turn it up a little bit faster. And let that beat there for about a minute or so, just till it starts to thicken up a little bit. Now that it's slightly thicker, we're just going to turn it up a little bit more. And basically we're going to let this beat away for about 10 minutes. Now in that 10 minutes, it's going to start to thicken up and cool down, and it's going to form that telltale marshmallow consistency. And there we have it, our lovely sugar-free marshmallow mixture. Okay, next I've just got a baking tray here. I've just lined it with some baking paper, and I've given it an additional grease on top. We're just going to place our marshmallow mixture right into our pan, just like so. Really is amazing how it goes from that maple syrup color to the almost white color. It's more like just an off-white. Just going to spread it out just so it's all nice and even. Okay, so once that's done, all we have to do now is place it into the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours to give it a chance to set. Now I've just taken them out of the fridge, cut them up, and compared to normal marshmallows, they're not as sticky, which is a lot easier to cut. And just look how fluffy that is. Push it down, bounces right back. Ooh, wibbly wobbly. Now if you want to know how to make the proper original marshmallows, I'll leave a link down below to my video on where I've already made proper marshmallows. But this one is just as good. They're still very fluffy, light. They do have that slight taste of the maple syrup in them, which honestly is fantastic. It's something you have to give it a go because it really does taste good. It's a change from the normal sugary marshmallows that you get from the shops. So because they're as fluffy as a marshmallow and they have that slight maple syrup taste to them, these sugar-free marshmallows taste simply delish. So as I said, you can still have them in moderation, but they are far better for you by using this natural sweetener as opposed to the refined sugar that you find in normal marshmallows. So thank you for watching this episode of Todd's Kitchen. As always, I'll leave a list of ingredients down below, as well as links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Home Handy Hints channel. And please do me a massive favour by giving this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another delicious recipe.